Hi Sagittarius, it's Trishna and it's time for your June reading. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Take what resonates and leave the rest. And know that energies can be mirrored. Oh, cards are already coming out. If you are interested in a personal reading, you can find me working away in my Etsy shop at www.etsy.com/shop/psychicts. The link is also down below in the description box. Let me try to move my mic a little bit because the lawn care folks are coming a day later, so I did not know they would come in the middle of this reading. Okay. Sagittarius. Oh, hello. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Super positive, super happy, super excited. Just enjoying life, enjoying love. Maybe there are issues and problems happening in your life, but you feel like there are things that you can handle, that you can manage. Maybe you would like for them to not be in your life, but you know, you're not going to let it distract you too much from all the good that's happening. This feels like a month of excitement, of joy. I feel a lot of brightness, some changes, some bringing back in of maybe old interests and old passions. Good food. Regarding love, I feel like for those of you in a relationship of any stage, but especially if you're earlier on in a relationship, so maybe you've been dating for a few months or maybe within your first year of a relationship, you may have some misunderstandings where you don't really understand your partner this month. Not the whole month, but I feel like maybe around the second week or maybe 2 weeks from when you listen to this, you're going to be like, I'm not really sure why they do that or why they think that way or where they're coming from around that or like what motivates them to want that particular dream or why do they go about things in that way or what is that mentality that they have. So there might be a little bit of confusion there, nothing major, but it's going to make you have some questions. And I think these questions are really powerful. Because my feel is that your partner is probably somebody who can be very holistic in their thinking. They can see things from many different angles. But you, Sagittarius, you may have a tendency to kind of see things just the way that you see them and not always really entertain other perspectives. Like you may listen to another person's perspective, but it can be a little bit challenging for you sometimes to be able to think about other people's perspectives on your own time without it being kind of given to you by another person. And even when it's given to you from another person, it can be hard for you to hold your perspective and somebody else's perspective at the same time. It's almost like you have to go from one to the other and really delve deep into one or the other. And so sometimes it can be a little bit hard for you to mesh different perspectives and create something new from that. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, Saggy, because we all have different strengths, and strengths can be weaknesses and weaknesses can be strengths. So for you, your strength is that you really can understand something very deeply and you can really step into somebody else's shoes. So you can't do it all at the same time, but you can go very deeply on one or the other. And that's really powerful because you can get a lot from those experiences. And so that's the strength that you bring to the table. And the strength that your partner brings to the table is maybe they don't go as deep, but they can hold multiple perspectives at the same time and they can really create something new from that. So they don't go as deep, but they have, it's a strength for them. And so as you have this misunderstanding or like this kind of confusion about somebody, which again is not going to be anything serious, it's just going to be like a moment. You may not even talk to them about it, or you might. It's just going to be like a curiosity thing for you. But as you have this moment, it's going to get you to start asking questions that I think are really powerful for you, that will kind of open up your own perspective to where maybe you can have that broader perspective as well. I think, Saggy, that there is something that you can definitely appreciate from your partner that maybe you haven't really noticed before. So I think this would be kind of an interesting, fun month. You know, because again, this is not a bad thing. It's not going to be negative. It's not going to feel bad in any way. Not to you. It really just kind of expands you. And that feels really good. Saggies love to expand. You're ruled by Jupiter. You love, love, love expansion. Especially when it adds to your life. Obviously, we don't like expansion that can take from our lives. Which sounds like, well, how do you expand something and it takes? But we won't get into that. And Saggy, you have a lot to offer your partner too. A lot of love, a lot of generosity. And the great thing about being a little more entrenched in your own perspective is that, Saggy, you tend to be a pretty optimistic, fun-loving person. And those are great qualities and great personality characteristics to be entrenched in. So that is how you add value. That is what your strength is. That is what you bring to the table. So it might sound a little insulting that it's like, well, you're saying I can't hold multiple perspectives. You're saying I'm narrow-minded. But again, like, there's so many facets to a person, right? So we're just talking about portions of you and the parts that are coming out most strongly. But at the same time, you have strengths in the way that you are. What else before we look at all the cards? Regarding career, there may be some frustrations. I do feel like they're minor, but again, Saggy, because you are ruled by Jupiter, sometimes you can expand things to be greater than they are from a mental perspective. I don't think you'll do too much of that this month because this month does feel really good, really positive, really rosy, really wanting to focus on the bright side of life. So you will have a few little things going on in the career realm that are minor little things. I feel like it's 3 of them. But just know that you can overcome them. Just know that some of them may solve themselves. Just give it a day or two. And just know that you're completely capable. So any kind of doubts that you allow to grow in your mind, don't do that. You will, because that's just kind of where the energy is right now. But just remember this. This is not what you have to live. This is not what you have to experience. Also know that you're not alone in solving your problems, especially in the career realm, that there are other people that you can ask, that you can guide, that can help you out, that you can maybe delegate to. And this might actually be a really good opportunity for you, Sagittarius, with regards to career. If you do have a problem and there is an opportunity to delegate, well, guess what? When you do that, it shows more leadership potential, and I think you will get recognized if you go about it that way. If there's a problem, you can delegate, and you do delegate, you will start being seen from a leadership lens, and I think that will pay off in your career and actually lead you to a more leadership-oriented position. Now, that position might be in the area that you currently are in, or you might get transferred to something else, to another area, but and you might feel like, oh, did they just want to get rid of me? Like, is this, they just want to get rid of me, but they tried to make it positive? The answer is no. The answer is they saw your potential and they didn't see how you could fit in the group based off of the structure right now, but they wanted you to be able to live your potential. And so they found another opening for you, and they were giving you a gift by doing this. They're not trying to get rid of you. They were trying to give you a gift in doing this. So I do see a lot of victory, a lot of happiness. Look at that. A lot of happiness, fulfillment in the home life, overall life, career life probably also. I'm not feeling career with money quite as much, not this month. It will just be okay, or maybe even money will be a little bit tight, but the rest of your life is going to be going really, really well, like A+. So make sure to focus on that and expand that even more, because if you do that, the money will work out, and it will probably start working out around August. So not July, but I think around August. So it's coming, just not yet. Make sure that you're being collaborative this month, Saggy. You do have a tendency sometimes to try really hard to win. And when you do that, sometimes it's at the expense of the fun. So you win, but you do it in a way that makes it not very fun for others. And then they don't really want to play anymore. So if there is a delegation opportunity here, make sure that you are creating win-win scenarios for everybody, and not doing it just to win for yourself to get that leadership position. Make sure that you're balanced in your approach and that you're thinking about the other people involved. But yeah, look at this. A very fertile month, a lot that can be a lot of positivity here. Like a lot of gold. Gold in terms of like sunshine, happiness, joy. You're going through a transformation right now, Saggy, also, but you're not really going to notice that it's happening or not notice that much, which is good. And I think this might be what happens in love is like you go through a transformation of thinking that is not necessarily going to be the thinking that you take with you because you have your own strengths, as I've said. So it's not like you need to change, but it will be a tool set that you put in your arsenal, in your bag for any time that you need it. So it's not going to be your typical MO, but it will be something that you'll be able to come back to anytime that a situation requires. And yes, remember to have balance. Saggy, I don't think that you need to spend a lot of time resting this month, as the Four of Swords indicates. I think this is a month to, okay, so I guess you kind of need to with regards to work. Like if there's problems, just kind of chill out, just know you're going to solve it. And even if you're not going to solve it, it's going to get resolved either way. And there's only going to be 2 to 3 and it's not going to be huge. Don't make it bigger than it is. You don't need sleepless nights. That would be taking it out of proportion is what I feel. It may not feel that way in the moment. You may be like, no, this is exactly the level of anxiety that I should have about this. But when you look back a few days later, you'll be like, oh, wait. So with regards to work, yes, rest a little bit, cool your jets a little bit, kind of try to chill out a little bit. If there's some kind of practice you can do of just taking 3 deep breaths every morning to kind of center yourself, and that's it. You know, it's like a 3-minute practice or like even a 1-minute practice. That's it. You do that every morning before you head off to work or before you start working, whatever it is. That's what you need. But aside from that, live up the rest of your life. Because lots wants to come out. Lots wants to flourish. This is going to be a happy, 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 happy month. You want to enjoy it to the fullest. Don't sleep it away. Don't chill out on the excitement. Only chill out on the more negative feelings or the negative things. Which again, remember, one of those problems, if there's an opportunity to delegate, is it really negative if it sets you up for leadership? And that's something that you've been wanting. Then it's a positive thing, isn't it? All right, Saggy. So that was your message. Pretty short and sweet. I hope that it served you. Have an amazing month. The energy's already right for it. So I'm very excited for you. And Saggy, I will catch you in the next one.